it seems silly, but if you can't make your bed consistently every single morning, or if you can't keep your house pretty consistently clean, don't worry about that more complex stuff. Just work on having the discipline every single morning, make the bed. And that's transferable to a bunch of different disciplines in my life, like taking a cold shower, ice bath every single day, right? I become and that's what it's about. It's about becoming the person that's disciplined so that it's just automatically who you are. So it's how you do anything is how you do everything.
Hi, friends. We are live and we're talking about morning routines this week. We're back together, all three of us, well, together separately, Zoom, after a lovely Christmas break. And we thought, what better thing to talk about in a new year than how you start your day? So, do one of you want to start us off?
Sure. I'm a big fan of morning routines and how they, like you said, Jilisa, they can make or break your day. And we're talking about health and fitness. It really can start your day off in the right way in terms of circadian rhythm. So how you sleep in the evening, um, how you're feeling the rest of the day, your energy. Basically, your morning routine is an accumulation of a bunch of small habits. So I say it's an accumulation of small habits because when people try to start morning routines, they have this picture in their head of other people who will wake up at 4:30 a.m. They go for a 20-mile run. They eat their low carb, high fat, keto diet, and then they meditate for 2 hours. I'm exaggerating a bit, but right, we have this thing in our head where it has to be all in or nothing. When in reality, you can just start small. So part of your morning routine can be starting with a simple habit like drinking water. And once you're consistent with that, I almost think of it like you've locked it in. Like you don't have to think about it as much. It's your automatic response. You're not having to go through the resistance of having to force it because it's just a part of who you are now. And then you start stacking on top from there. And Jaleesa, you mentioned trying to get eventually habits in each category of the flywheel.
Yeah, I mean, I can only talk like I can speak from personal experience because I used to have the worst morning routine. I used to just get up, go straight to my phone, start working or like get ready and leave. And my morning was so rushed and I always felt terrible. And then a couple years ago, I hired a mindset coach, and like my one task for the longest time was to take a morning minute. So literally, it was like, he was like, I want you to make your coffee and then sit down on the couch and like be silent for a minute before you do anything else. And I was like, the worst, hardest thing for the longest time. And then once I could do it consistently, now it's like I can't imagine waking up and just like going straight to work or just getting ready. And now my 1 minute has turned into 20 minutes and it's included other parts of my life. So I still do my morning minute, but now I also do my devotions for 10 minutes and then I journal and then I do my thankfulness practice, which is really important to me now. And I drink water.
Whoa.
And like, guys, it's life changing, man. That water is something special, I tell you. So I do drink my coffee first, but then I drink some water. And so I feel like now I've checked off a little bit in every category for myself. And just starting off my day like that has made a huge difference in how I can approach my day. And just like even those first few hours, particular of the day, I'm a much nicer person now, I think. So I think that's super helpful for me. And I think too, like I worked shift work for so long and knowing that regardless of what time you're waking up, so whether that's actually like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., still making sure that that's how you start your day has always been something, or not always, but has been something that has become really important. So that's my
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't have to I mean, morning is really good because that's when most people, it's the most consistent thing in most people's day, right?
Mhm.
So that can act as like a trigger. But let's say it doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning per se. Like Matt said, it's a stack of habits basically in your routine, which can be done whenever throughout the day. And when we say make or break your day, if you don't do it first thing in the morning when maybe you normally did it, that doesn't mean your day's broken, right? You can still do those things a little bit later in the day, perhaps, if you got like a little bit of time. But one of the biggest things that I think I came to realize a little while ago is like you can control the first 30 minutes of your day and the last 30 minutes of your day.
Yeah.
And like this doesn't need to be like Matt said, like going for I have seen those videos where they're like, I go on a 20-mile run, then I eat my breakfast, I meditate for an hour. It's like the successful person's morning or whatever. I'm like, okay, nobody does that. Nobody can do that unless you don't have to work at all. But then there's, all these little things that you can do. But if you can control the first 30 minutes of your day, then maybe your morning routine is 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like it doesn't need to be anything super crazy, but it's the consistency aspect, I think, that Jaleesa talked about.
Mhm. Yeah.
That is that's the most important part about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've go ahead, Jay.
I was just gonna say that reminded me, I have a nutrition client and she was telling me the other day, she was like, this actually, I don't think has anything to do with nutrition, but she was talking about how just in getting used to adding routines in with her nutrition has made her evaluate the other parts of her life. And she was like, I decided that like my mornings are too rushed. And so I've started the habit of waking up. She doesn't drink coffee, she drinks tea, which I just think is mind blowing, but good for her. And so she says, I sit down with my cup of tea and I rock in my rocking chair and I do that for however long until I feel ready to get ready for the day. And she's like, that's literally like my favorite part of the day. And she attributed that to improving other habits in her life. I was like, that's awesome. Like, it's
Yep.
so great that those things can just kind of like add on to each other. So,
The discipline and the practice is transferable, right?
yeah.
We so here's a way to think about it. We often have people coming in to us and asking, what about the keto diet, intermittent fasting, or like let's say 75 hard, all these different things. But in reality, if you can't, it seems silly, but if you can't make your bed consistently every single morning, or if you can't keep your house pretty consistently clean, don't worry about that more complex stuff. Just work on having the discipline. Like I'll for myself, that's what I committed to long ago and start off my whole routine is every single morning, make the bed. And that transfers, it's transferable to a bunch of different disciplines in my life, like taking a cold shower, ice bath every single day, right? I become and that's what it's about. It's about becoming the person that's disciplined so that it's just automatically who you are. So it's how you do anything is how you do everything,
Yeah.
right? And instead of just saying, I want to do this thing, I want to be the person that has a morning routine. I want to be the person that works out consistently. And then when we're talking about consistency, when we with our coaching clients, I think you could all attest to this. If you're 80% consistent in your routines and your habits, where our clients are and we are, you see success. And whatever success might be to that person, right? We work with our clients to create their own goals, but then they see the success, but they often exceed it too.
Yeah. I agree. So, do either of you guys have like one actionable thing that you would recommend to start with for someone's morning routine?
I know you mentioned your morning minute already, so I feel like that's an easy one out. Um, my morning routine, yeah, it is a coffee, one coffee,
Mhm.
and then sit on the couch, and my dog is almost always there, so we like chill for a couple minutes before we do anything else.
That's good. I like that. Um, yeah, I guess we can kind of pair this. I was going to ask you both your morning routines, like most of it. You don't have to say I wake up, rub my eyes, and so on and so forth. But I'll start with mine. It's I wake up um, fairly
I'm glad
early.
you included that part. I wake up.
I wake up, and I did just go on and say I wake up, but somehow I'm awake. And then, no, I try to avoid my phone for the first at least 30 minutes because there's a lot of stressors that come through your devices, whether it's good or bad stress. There's a lot of hormones that are associated with that can disrupt your whole morning. So try to avoid that. I do my devotions, I do my prayer, and then I make my coffee. I've had my water with my devotions. I go upstairs, I do some writing, and then I do some creative work because there's zones in the day where you can be more productive and more creative. And then I do some administrative stuff. And then Neville just came in saying hi to Tom. So my actionable is think of one habit that's serving you that you want to do more of, and think of one habit that might not be serving you that well that you'd like to replace. Jilisa, I know you get to go coach your client right away, but do you want to share your morning routine or an actionable?
Well, I think I kind of did already give a recap, but similar. I somehow magically am awake, and then coffee first. I don't know how you guys just have water or something, but coffee first, quiet time, do my morning minute. I read for probably 10 minutes, journal for 10 minutes, and then I get to work. So it's just a little bit of quiet time. Oh, and then I have water after because it's nonsense to have your water first. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that's my morning.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you for joining. If Tom has anything to add right away, you can see Neville jumping. If you guys are watching this on video, he's the best. He's the best. Be consistent during the week and on the weekends. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It just means consistent. That's who gets the result. Consistency breeds success. Start small. Don't get overwhelmed. Routines can be moved. Routines are a stack of habits in like this little box. That's how I see them in my head. And then avoid stressors in the morning. And disciplines transfer into many aspects of your life. If you can make your bed consistently, it's going to help you work out consistently.
Boom.
Anything else, anyone?
What a recap.
Yeah.
Recap. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you're interested in getting some help with this is what we specialize in, helping people structure their day, their exercise routine, nutrition routine, mornings, evenings, so they can reach the goals they want to reach and maintain them.